Hello, welcome to Lemon Steers, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, the Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw of September 9th, 2024, or the season premiere episode of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way, shall we? I'm just leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. And, of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, shall we? So, it has been announced that Raw will be going back down to 2 hours starting October 7th. It's whatever the Monday is after Bad Blood, so we are on the last road of 3-hour Monday nights until, of course, 2025 when it moves over to Netflix. Or maybe not. I don't know. I can see in a case where Raw stays 2 hours but it's commercial free and they give the third hour to SmackDown. If it was up to me personally, I think both shows 2 hours and 30 minutes is good, because sometimes on SmackDown it does feel rushed, or it ends super early because it's the time, and a lot of things get cut short. While Raw, yeah, some things drag. I just think they need that 30 minutes for it to be like a perfectly run through show all the way through. Like this show, I think this show was ran absolutely spectacular. I liked all the storylines that are going through. I just have one gripe when it comes to WWE right now. And it's a good gripe to have, to be honest with you, as a company, when your biggest gripe is that they keep doing the right thing. And it's just, I want a little bit more, chances to be taken on. And it's just, it's predictable, but the matches are still good. Look, the match qualities on this show were absolutely spectacular. The Fatal 4-Way was a lot of fun. I loved how Bronson Reed came from out of nowhere and hit a random tsunami on Braun Strowman. I liked all the spots. I also liked everything we did before, with Braun Breaker coming up to each person after they had the interview and saying how, look, man, if you win this, it'll be your biggest regret, because I'm going to beat you. And I'm not just going to beat you, I'm going to hurt you, until we got to Jay. The only problem with it was that the weeks before, all he was talking about was Jay. Sure, we had the one time where he mentioned Pete Dunne, but all he did was talking about Jay, so we were already building up that feud. So going into this, now there was some jeopardy going into it, because Jay came out to help Rhea and Damian, and I was like, okay, maybe the Judgment Day screw him over, because there was two stakes in this Raw. And when I say two stakes, I mean, two A storylines, A, B, and C, or, you want to talk it like a dish, like I do. You have the steak, the potatoes, and then you have your green beans. And depending on which side you like more, makes it B or C. And it just really felt like Intercontinental title was story A, B, and Judgment Day was story A, A. And I thought Judgment Day may come out to cost Jey Uso in some way. And they also had me biting a little bit when he did hit the splash and Pete Dunne threw him out and then pinned Ilya. I really thought Pete might have stole one. But it was also pretty obvious, too, that Pete Dunne and Sheamus are going to go in a direction. Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed are going to go in one direction. Ilya, he's kind of there. And again, Braun Breaker and Jey Uso are already doing promo, so it was pretty obvious on what we were going to do. And, if it's pretty obvious that's the game plan we're going to do, that's fine. I just don't think we need a bunch of qualifying matches and then a Fatal 4-Way. I think we could have just had, Jay won one match, Pete won the other, and now they're going to face each other, and then we go bada bing, bada boom, and here we go. We're on the road to wherever this title match is going to be, because you would think it would be at Bad Blood, but Raw already has its 3 matches. We got Damian versus Finn, Rhea versus Liv, and the Hell in a Cell match for Drew versus Punk. Again, that's another gripe of mine. Drew and Punk should be Hell in a Cell. Don't get me wrong. It was just so obvious that it was Hell in a Cell that when Adam comes out and he delivers the line of Hell in a Cell, sure, it's still exciting that it's confirmed, but if it wasn't completely obvious, I think it would have meant a little bit more. If that makes sense. Because again, I'm not mad that it's inside Hell in a Cell. It should be inside Hell in a Cell. That's where the feud should end. Absolutely. I just would have liked, throughout the rounds, okay, yeah, Hell in a Cell seems like it could be it, but hell, maybe the last match is a last man standing. Maybe the last match is an I Quit match, so on and so forth. Just so that way it is like, oh, it really is Hell in a Cell. And like it makes the excitement a little bit more. Besides that, again, I think Raw was absolutely great. The matches were good. All the promos were good. I love the segment between Drew and Wade. It looks like Wade may come out of retirement. I hope he does, because I think he was a great in-ring performer. My favorite promo segment, and honestly, my favorite moment of Raw overall, was the Gunther and Bret Hart segment. I mean, it was so inside baseball when he goes, my favorite wrestler is Bill Goldberg. And the fact that he had to say Bill Goldberg too, right? It was just so funny. And like even Bret was like smiling a little bit. It was cool that he was able, to poke a little fun at himself with that. It was a great segment. I just absolutely loved it. I also when Sammy coming out and, saying you don't talk to Bret like that. Obviously we're going to do We're going to do Gunther versus Sammy. That'll be for the world title. Gunther will win. But I'm kind of with Gunther. Sammy needs to get a couple wins first. And, if Gunther takes Bad Blood off, which I'm assuming he does, because Cody needs to defend the title at Bad Blood. It's in his hometown, right? Maybe you give Cody Crown Jewel off in early November. And you give Gunther and Sammy there, where Sammy really does have home field advantage. And Gunther could get some serious heat within that, and that could be the main event. And maybe Cody takes Crown Jewel off. That could be his one pay-per-view that he misses. Maybe do Roman versus Solo to substitute that. That could be the good start, the starter of the show, and have Gunther and Sammy main event overall. So we have time with that World Heavyweight title program, and as of right now, I am fully on Gunther is going to win. But they can implement that 1% with Sami Zayn, because Sami Zayn did beat Gunther, which does intrigue me and it does excite me within that storyline. As for all the big programs, I mean, there was Liv and Rhea, but again, that's mainly with the whole Judgment Day overall overload. And I liked what they did with Judgment Day this time. Judgment Day needed to look more like a threat. I've said it, you've probably said it, is that Judgment Day kind of gets their ass kicked every single week. And they had that 1 week where they looked dominant, but this week they looked very dominant. They finally got the jump on Rhea, which, sure, Rhea's already injured. I just kind of wish, Liv could take her on where she's 100%, because that gives so much more to Liv. I get it, you want to protect Rhea, but this whole injury angle, I'm not fully feeling, because again, I just want Liv to have that convincing win, because I do have Liv winning at Bad Blood, and that'll be the finale. And I did see that, Raquel posted on her Instagram story the match, so maybe Raquel comes to side with Liv, or maybe she's like, Liv, this ain't you, and then, that's our next feud that we go into, because I am pretty content that this is the final chapter between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley, at least for a good while. Save it until January. They have 2 months off from each other. I don't see this they continue to fight each other up until Mania at this point. So Liv wins, and then whatever happens after that with Raquel, I'm assuming is going to be in the post-match angle. And then we go from there. But yeah, it was a good angle, beating her up with the crutch. Damian covering her to show how much he loves her. Great moment. Jey Uso did take way too long to come out, though. It was all right, Jay, where you at? Damn, where was he? That took him so long, because they were basically done. And also, Judgment Day, he only had a chair. You probably could have jumped him. I also loved everything we did with the LWO. Dragon Lee versus Dominic. Dominic is starting to get more and more wins. Maybe he does get an actual IC title match if Braun Breaker loses the belt sooner. And again, that's another gripe I have with mine. All the title reigns are too long. To me, personally, I think we need to mix it up a little bit with some of them. Jey Uso and Braun Breaker is going to be a great match. And part of me does think Jey needs to win. But most of me, a solid 97% of me is there's no way Braun Breaker is going to drop the title this early, especially on his first his second actual title defense, since he had the 2 out of 3 falls with Sami Zayn. But yeah, that match does intrigue me. I am very curious on that, because there is a split within it. But yeah, Rhea versus Liv. Damian versus Balor, they had the segment there. We already talked about that, but yeah, the LWO stuff, that's where we were. I was trying to find myself back. LWO versus Judgment Day. First match, there were two involved. So Ray versus Finn, they have to be separated until the end of the show. Finn's takes the DQ. I actually liked it. I liked the finish. I also like how the men had the short match segment this time, and they actually gave the Pure Fusion Collective some time. Granted, it was mainly for Natty, but it is what it is. I just appreciate what we got. Takes the DQ, beats on Ray quite a bit. Dominic's going to love that. Gave some necessary heat to Finn. Damian and Rhea were at a local medical facility. It was just good stuff for the Judgment Day overall. I think they did very, very good business, and they actually looked strong, and they actually looked like a threat. Now, onto the storylines that are being built throughout Raw. Pure Fusion Collective versus Lyra Valkyria, Zelina Vega, and Natalya returning. Beautiful pop for Natty, and it was a fun match overall. I just don't know what we're doing with this group. They say they're threatening, but they lose quite a bit. There's no way they're in the tag team title scene, because I really thought they could have been the ones to take the titles off Jade versus Bianca. Now I'm not really having that. They need to get some more wins to build up their credit a little bit. Maybe they do the rematch on Raw, right? And now now that we know Natalya's going to be there, we were actually able to game plan around her, and then that's how they're able to get the win, and maybe they're just this group that needs prep time. I don't know, but the match overall was good. I just don't know what we're doing, because Pure Fusion Collective is obviously the focus. Lyra and Zelina are not. And Natalya was there for the hometown pop. Maybe she does actually have a plan. They have a plan for Natalya, because I do know before she disappeared from TV that Sonya Deville was talking with Natalya. So it will be interesting to see how that's implemented moving forward, if it is or if it's not. But yeah, I just want some more focus on the Pure Fusion Collective, just so that way, because they are the main focus. Then we had the women's tag team title match, Unholy Union versus Jade and Bianca. I like how they both dress, similar gear. They actually look like teams. I just wish Jade and Bianca came out to the same music to be actual tag team. They did have me bite for one split second when Unholy Union did hit their finisher, and then Jade knocked it off. But I was like, no way, maybe Jade's going to break it up. And sure enough, she did. I'm glad they protected the finisher. But yeah, obviously Jade and Bianca were going to win. Had the nice segment with Damage Control later. Just need Damage Control to get a couple more wins. But I am glad that there is now some story being implemented on it. And I did see on Twitter that, they were like, hey, we want to come and, face NXT talent too. And it looks like they're going to be in Chicago defending those titles. So really, really happy that, at least those titles are starting to get some love. The World Tag titles will finally be defended next week against the New Day. I really don't know how we book this, because if Damian and Finn is just going to stay one-on-one, take the belt off of Finn and give it back to the New Day. I think, so that way there would be an actual focus on the World Tag titles, because New Day draws. But also part of me, I was reaching, right? Since Jay and Damian won round one, and Finn and Damian were so well versed within the tag division when they were the Judgment Day, part of me was like, yeah, there's a story there where Damian takes the tag titles off of Finn. Yeah, there's something there. But now that's completely gone. But yeah, if Finn's gonna be one-on-one, get him off the tag team circuit. Let the New Day take it over. They have a pending clock. They have a 10-year anniversary. They may or may not break up at this point. I don't know, especially now that Odyssey Jones is no longer within the company. There's a little bit of a hole within the storyline. Maybe they're replacing that with The Miz. He's now talking with Karrion Kross, and Miz has to be honest with himself, going, look, I know what he's trying to do. I created the game. Because he did. Miz is, the ultimate gaslighter when motivated, right? And he's like, yeah, no, I done that. But he is right. I am in a slump, and I need to figure out. So very, very curious to see where that's going to move forward. It seems like there's going to be a lot more focus with Miz. And I do think I could actually see Miz turning. Xavier, they have me believing a little bit, but now I'm pretty sure that Xavier and Kofi will be staying, even though Xavier did drop the line of, oh, well, I thought we were going to go for singles titles. But hey, love the tag titles as well, so we will see. But yeah, like I said, overall, this episode of Raw was absolutely good. I had a great time with it. I just want a little bit more risk. That's really all I'm asking. The safe route is always going to be the right route, right? Because you saw the crowd reaction with Jey Uso won. They love him. you saw the crowd reaction when Hell in a Cell was confirmed. They loved it. I loved it. I just want a little bit more predictability while I'm like not watching it, and I just go, well, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, and this is going to happen. Like, oh, yep, and there it is. That's really the only thing I'm lacking. I just want a couple of, just a couple of risk twists and turns, like, oh, I don't know if that's the right choice. Okay, let's see how this progresses moving forward. But yeah, what did y'all think about it? Drop in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think I am a little too much like, no, we do not need more unpredictability. Let's keep it safe. It's fine. The product is really, really good, and the stories are being delivered, and the people are responding to it. Or you do agree with me. Leave a like if you did make it this far. I do greatly appreciate it. And again, hit that subscribe button as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. And until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.